It'll take time to restore chaos.
YouTube ads have always been something that nobody really likes, but always has to put up with, unless you're part of the premium bourgeoisie. But it's only with the advent of generative AI that, personally at least, I think things have gotten truly horrendous. I have no idea what it is about my browsing habits, what data that Google is scalping from me that makes it think that I would enjoy any of the shit that I'm about to show to you. Maybe it's literally just because I watch anime, I don't know, but literally every other ad I get is some kind of AI goonslop nowadays. But despite me blocking every single one I see, inevitably some new one, fuck it, sometimes even the same ones keep showing up, funded by some new Hong Kong based company with an even stupider name than last time. And at a certain point, I have to wonder, who is even into this shit? Genuine content warning right now, because some of this stuff is fucking grotesque, but what is this? This looks like it would melt my dick off. Why would I stick it in there? It also kind of looks like Nagatoro, which is funny because some of them just straight up use her and this weird sock foot thing. I gotta stop looking at it. Yeah, if there's one thing that these guys love more than anything, it's copyrighted characters, especially teenagers. They fucking love teenagers. Here's one that they're apparently trying to pass off as Nobara from JJK, and yeah, sure, bro. Don't worry though, if all of the teenage softcore is making you uncomfortable, I got you covered. How about some preteen? This is a fucking 10-year-old, dude. What? Hey, finally one that's legal. Although I don't really like how Lois is looking at me. I feel like she's picturing my guts hanging from the ceiling fan. Twins, you, double the fun. Nigga, what fun could I have with the most bland character designs I've seen in my life? No wonder AI has to steal already existing characters like this thing, which I'm pretty sure is from Has Been Hotel. Very cute, very demure. Yeah, we'll go with that. Why are you pulling man's shirt up in the middle of an ice rink? God, the posing is so horrific and unnatural. Like, could you imagine real people making out like this? AI fan fiction. People are too fucking lazy to be fans of something. How can you even call yourself a fan if you are too arsed to even just write about the thing that you supposedly love so much? If you can't even write about it, how can you even call yourself a fan? I don't even know if this one is AI, but it's disturbing. It's disturbing like AI. And this, I don't even know what this is supposed. Oh, it's the Italian Prime Minister. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. There's another one of Glenn that is... It is absurd that I am worried about showing this like on in a YouTube video, despite the fact that this ad is also on YouTube. Honestly, this is probably the worst one. Do I even want to show this? Like not in terms of like, getting the video, like age restricted or something like that. I'm talking morally. Do I want to show you this thing? Because like, surely it's an objective good to make sure that as few people as possible see this. Maybe if you're in public, if you're watching this in public, which is a bold move, mate, but maybe angle your screen away so no one sees you looking at this. But yeah. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Jesus wept. I'm gonna fucking... Oh, man. So we're all in agreement, hopefully, that all of this is, like, horrific and, like, horrendous and, like, profoundly unsexy. But, like, even putting aside stuff like stealing from artists and, the environmental impacts of AI slop and stuff, I want to go back to that kind of question that I kind of started this with, and that is, who actually finds this stuff kind of attractive? Because any time that I've seen AI porn or like Guna bait, and which has always been non-consensual, by the way, I have never sought this stuff out. It has always thrust itself upon me without even asking. But anytime I've seen it, there's always been this inherent kind of ick about it that I've struggled to really articulate, but I think I'm finally starting to get an idea of what it is. And it comes down to how a lot of these men, and it is mostly men who are making this about women, it comes down to how I think these men view women and what kind of relationships they want with women. A big thing about AI in general, like in terms of a conversation partner, like talking to ChatGPT and stuff like that, even devoid of any sexual connotations and conversations, if you're having a conversation with ChatGPT, you're not having a conversation with like an actual thinking human being with its own thoughts and intentions and preferences and motivations or any kind of personality or anything. You are essentially talking to an echo, a bank of information that is training itself to respond to what you are saying in what it thinks is the most favorable way possible. There's no actual back and forth with an actual like entity there. It's just the only kind of development that actually exists is the AI learning to parrot back and enable your own opinions and information in a better and more appealing way to you. That's the only thing that really develops as the conversation goes. There's this term called, I might not be using it right, but there's this term called like, AI-induced psychosis. And I know AI psychosis is a term that's also used to refer to AI that kind of end up spiraling amongst themselves or within themselves and end up getting trapped in this kind of disinformation loop and start producing stranger and stranger outputs. But there's also, I think, AI-induced psychosis, which is something that has happened to people where they have become so invested in like these chatbots or whatever because they keep feeding into their like worst habits, into their delusions. Like people have actually died because of this, because this AI is like, it's not trained to really engage with them. It's not trained to really prod or push them or challenge them in a good way, the way that like an actual human being would. It just enables everything about you, the good and the bad. And like I said, people have fucking died because of this. And what really adds like an even more horrifying dimension to this when you apply the lens of sexuality to this is that it really says a lot about how a person who's into this views relationships and views women, because they don't want one who can like, they can actually engage with, who they can actually talk to, who will actually like do something to them. They don't want to have like an actual connection with anything. Like they just want like a mind reading slave that just does whatever they want without thinking, that has no whims or desires of their own, that they don't have to like engage with or negotiate or accommodate at all. And like, I'm thinking to myself, is that not part of the appeal, the fun of like sex? is the fact that you're doing it with another person, is that not the whole thing? Part of the whole appeal of sex, and even stuff like, shitty, smutty lemon fan fiction or like fan art or whatever, is the fact that there's another like brain involved in it. That what I am consuming is, or like what I'm engaging with be it with another person or be it like, content, is that there is another person engaged in that kind of thought process, that at some point along the line, another human being is exposing an intimate part of themselves to me and expecting me to not only respect that, but reciprocate it in turn by showing my own, preferences and desires and stuff like that. And through that, there's an indirect, sometimes direct, sometimes indirect, but there is a connection there. Even like, is that not the basic part of it? That's the foundation. And you're getting rid of that, and what you leave, if you take that away, what you leave is just this like skinwalker, horrifying, like empty suit with like no light. It's fucking terrifying seeing some of this shit. And it would be one thing if this was all confined to like generic anime or cartoon characters and stuff, but earlier this year, like, Twitter got into like a massive amount of hot water because their AI, Grok, or Mecha Hitler, as it would prefer to be known sometimes, it was taken. People were using it to take real images of women, sometimes even like young girls, and using it to like create fake like nudes, or like remove their photographs and stuff like that. Or like, I even saw an ad once that was like enhancing like their tits and stuff like that. It's like, nigga, we can't even like real women. Like, what? Even they're not safe from this. Like, what? How? I think this is what the term brain rot was used for. How rotted does your brain have to be that you can't even accept like a real, like, human being? Like, and pushing the girls to the side. Please get them as far away from this conversation as possible. We can't even like appreciate real women without needing them to like fit this Guna, like, porn, hyper exaggerated beauty standard, which is always, of course, very weird and like fetishistic about like, white women, or like, Asian women are getting it pretty bad as well. But it's like, oh, man, it's like, this is sad, It's really sad. I can't help but think that anyone who like types in like, oh, at Grok, at Grok, take off this woman's swimsuit, at Grok, make her tits look bigger, make her lips look fuller, lighten her skin. It's like, obviously, the biggest victim in this situation are the women who are like having this like perverse process done to their bodies, to these pictures that they have. And obviously people are going to say like, oh, well, don't upload your pictures to the internet because people are going to do them. Don't be a fucking dickhead. Don't be stupid. That's the same argument as saying like, oh, well, she was asking for it, she was wearing stuff like that. Don't be dumb. Don't be fucking dumb. But I also think that like I can't help but I feel this weird sense of like just pity for anyone who's like really engaging with this. Like how far gone do you have to be that you can't accept real people? That you can't connect with human people. How far, like how the depths of the alienation that you must feel. And like people are going to exploit that as well, to like try and feed into that as well, to make you feel alone and angry. So you start blaming, women for all your problems. So you start blaming people who don't look like you, like fucking immigrants, or like black people or Muslims or whatever. And people are going to say like, oh, why are you making this about politics? Nigga, everything's about politics. Oh man. Yeah. God. Yeah, so in case you couldn't tell, this is very much a random, rambly kind of video that I just did because this thing was just happening to me. I kept getting these ads and I was like, fuck it, I need to exercise this, I need to get this off your chest. And if you are someone who has been seeing this stuff here, hopefully you can commiserate with me. And look, if you are someone who I was talking about earlier, who like is finding yourself in this ecosystem where you are engaging with this like AI generated stuff, please do your best to unplug. Like even if it is like, I mean, obviously, you know, if you're engaging with this stuff, you're probably like massively addicted to like porn or shit like that. So like, genuinely, I hope you recognize that as a problem and you do seek help for that kind of stuff. And even if, you know, you do engage with that kind of material, at least do try and make sure it is human sourced, you know. Only engage with, you know, free range porn. Genuinely though, I think it, in this age where it is so easy to lock ourselves away, to only engage with people indirectly through a screen, to like never have to actually, where you can go weeks without having an actual conversation with another person face to face, without touching people, without holding people, being touch starved or conversation starved. I think it's more important than ever that we really do treasure the few remaining avenues of human connection that we do have. So please, despite how appealing or tempting or simple it might be, you cannot lose those avenues for connection, because God, man, what's left for us if we get rid of the human touch? I mean, man, fuck me. Thanks for watching. I don't really know how to end this. This is a kind of a new thing for me. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out my main channel video where I make videos that are way more scripted and edited than this over on the main channel, Just Kai After Kai. Link to my latest video is probably here. Music somewhere about here. Check out King's Creek, which is a horror podcast that I do. And yeah, have a good day. Goon ethically.